Another podcast by the Burning Donuts. Known on police record as a brony slash anther artist, the Burning Donut is really Aaron Ring. His dual identity known by anyone who checks out his online galleries. And now, to protect freedom of speech and to produce some kick-ass artwork, rides the Burning Donut.
Hey everyone, the Burning Donut reporting as live as possible in recorded format. I actually have kind of a very short rant I want to do today. The problem is, or at least the issue on my mind currently, is I actually had a chance to be on a radio show on Everfree Network. And to people not familiar within the Baroni fandom, the Everfree Network is essentially an online radio show that basically features everything Brony, and is honestly has a very, very cool collection of radio shows that, I was kind of hoping someday I could actually be a part of, because I'm actually a huge fan of radio talk shows and, things like that. I'm okay with the whole podcast thing, but honestly, I love live broadcasting, especially when they're talking about stuff I actually care about. So, what happened, might you ask? Well, I decided one day to tweet a Mr. Osaka Jack, who is the host of one of these shows. Essentially, he hosts a show that is pretty cool because it actually interviews people who aren't terribly famous. Like, there isn't like, you can only become like, we will only talk to you if you have 240 million views on DeviantArt or some shit like that. Okay. So one day I decided to be particularly ballsy and, treat myself as if the entire world actually gives a flying fuck about me, and I decided to tweet to Osaka Jack on Twitter, of course, like, hey, can I be a guest on your show someday? That would be pretty cool. And I pretty much just expected it to be completely ignored. To the guy's benefit, he did respond, and that alone was pretty fucking cool. So, he basically said, well, let's find out. Send an email to here. So I did. I sent an email with a link to my DeviantArt and stuff, and I was all like, yeah, I was like all excited and everything like that. Unfortunately, I got the response. Let me get the email up here. Osaka Jack to the Burning Donut. Hey there, thanks for the email. Well, unfortunately, EFN has to stay PG rated. At most. And some of your stuff just leans to the R34 category. Nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. You do decent art, but we can't really discuss or promote anything on EFN. Sorry about that. I have since sent a response back because I do feel that there is a great deal of hypocrisy with this statement. One of the shows I particularly like to listen to is called the Cutie Art Crusaders, and it's pretty cool because it's actually a radio show, kind of. It's done through Everfree Video, and they focus on like artwork and different themes and things like that, and it's actually pretty cool. And on a regular basis, they feature artwork by this artist named Io Picho or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I love the artist. The artist has this very unique and crazy style. But this artist does post some adult artwork. Okay? Now, I'm sorry. The artist posts the adult artwork and then asks for people to to pay to see it. So, I guess that's okay. Another thing I found particularly frustrating was that they interviewed an artist named Atrill. And again, anyone within the Baroni and or furry fandom who knows this guy and has ever seen this guy's fur affinity knows this guy basically draws pony porn. he has gotten jobs, doing things for like Everfree Northwest and things like that, some fucking how. And because of that, people say because of that, he's basically somewhat internet famous right now. Now, Trill posts porn, and I mean lots of porn. And I'm not talking like an occasional boob here or there. I'm talking full, hardcore, blatant, triple X, fluids flying everywhere of non-anthropomorphic My Little Pony porn. And quite frankly, the sheer fact that they actually had an entire episode of the Cutie Art Crusaders that was interviewing this guy, I mean, I think is great. But seriously, it's like oh, we'll have this famous artist over here who basically is known for drawing porn on our network, but we're not going to have you, some little no-name guy we've never heard of, fuck you, whatever, right? Now, what bugs me is that this is not the first time this has happened. This has actually been a very continual problem. So many times I have tried to post a link to, like, my Little Pony skateboards and stuff I've made and produced over the years, and so many times the links get taken down because the gallery that they exist in happens to have some of my furry artwork in it. Now, unfortunately, I am both a furry and a brony, so I feel completely taking down completely removing anything with a slight furry tint to it would be very insulting to the people who have been watching me for all these years. So, how do I respond? To be serious, I don't fucking know. There's been a couple times where I've mentioned having a slight identity crisis going on with my art right now, and this reason right here is it. I don't know what to draw sometimes, because if I draw pony stuff, there's always there's a big chance, there's always a big chance that it's going to be ignored because it might be slightly sexual in orientation. And when it comes to drawing furry stuff, the sheer fact that it isn't porn with giant cocks flopping around, it makes people want to ignore it. So I don't know what to do. I suppose I could go on a rant and say that EFN is this terrible, horrible network and you should completely just cancel subscription to everything they do. Don't go to Everfree Northwest. Well, that would be fucking stupid. Because personally, I think they are a good network. And I'm not going to hold one guy's dislike of one aspect of my gallery. I'm not going to hold that against an entire network. So, yeah. I do find it kind of insulting that, that they won't even talk to me because of this, but what can you fucking do? And that's really about the extent of the rant I wanted to do, and as you can tell, the music is playing, so I will catch everyone later. Donut out.